Hi guys, I'm Adrienne Smith, local realtor with Realty Now here in Carrollton and serving the West Georgia area. And today I'm sitting with Cynthia Hall, who is our branch manager of Caliber Home Loans here in Carrollton. If someone's thinking about buying the house, why shouldn't they just do that with their own bank or with an online lender?
Well, there's a few reasons. First of all, like I said, Carrollton has some amazing banks, but life happens to people, and there are a whole lot of people that banks can't help.
Right.
And there are also a lot of people who don't want to wait the time that it takes. You know, banks do mortgages very well, a lot of them, but they do so many things that their resources are split between multiple departments.
Right.
So sometimes mortgage isn't the bank's top priority, and it takes a lot longer to get a loan done.
Right.
So sometimes, you know, we're a mortgage company.
Right.
All we do is mortgage.
That's all
We
you
do
do.
one thing and we do it really well. We have a lot of great options. We can work with buyers that have a credit score down to a 580. And there's not a bank anywhere around that touches anyone
touch that.
below
Yeah.
a 620 to a 640.
It's true, yeah. So a local lender has their reputation at stake, and they just live and breathe by all the deadlines and everything that are really important. So
Well, and we are also in tune with the local market because we know what's happening in the news.
Right.
We know what's happening here. This is our house. This is our home too. So what we want to do is create a community that's vested within itself. And that's one of the reasons it was important to me to bring Caliber here.
right.
A town full of people who own a home and have a stake in the community is a town that's a true community and that wants the very best for all of its citizens. So many people who are renting don't think they can own a home.
Right.
And that's one of the cool things about being on the ground in a town like this is that we teach people who want to know. You had asked me earlier, how soon should someone start getting ready? If you even think that you ever want to buy a home, call me.
Yeah.
You know, come in. Let me do an analysis for you. Education is paramount to home ownership. If you are educated on what it takes to get from where you are to where you need to be,
Right.
that's how you get into a home. So many people call lenders and they go, "Oh, you don't qualify, goodbye." Well, that didn't help anyone. It didn't help the borrower. It didn't help the realtor. It didn't help the lender.
Right.
It didn't help the community.
Right.
The community that's happy is the community where someone calls and you go, "Hey, you're not there yet, but I'm here to hold your hand.
Right.
Let's get through this together. Here's where you are. Here's where you need to be, and let's do it together to get you there."
Yeah.
Then that renter has an opportunity to become a homeowner and to have a vested investment in their community.
Right. So yeah, I totally echo what Cynthia says about talking to her as soon as you think you might want to buy a home, or if you're wondering if you can, because the last thing you want to happen is sometimes I'll have buyers come to me and they've got a pre-approval letter with someone that their grandmother knew or whatever. I don't know the other lender, but I'm assuming if their grandma knew them, that the research is done and that they're qualified. We will spend tons of time, looking at houses and, competing in multiple offers. And it takes a while right now to find the right house and to put in a good offer and get it accepted.
There's a lot of competition, especially for the starter home market.
Exactly. And the last thing you want to happen is to finally get your offer accepted above the 10 others, and then you find out that your loan, you can't even get a loan on a house, or that you really needed to wait 6 more months until you were able. And some lenders will do this because they don't spend the time on the front end making sure that this buyer is ready. And that is a heartbreaking situation I've seen people in.
It's always better to spend extra time on the front and put in a really clean package, because then the back end is easy.
Right.
And the other thing that I firmly believe in and that I do with my clients is if I have someone and I think there may be an issue and I want to make sure that we're not going to get caught in any kind of a trap later on, instead of just pre-qualifying, I get them pre-approved.
Exactly.
We're going to go ahead, we're going to get your whole package together, we're going to submit it to the underwriter, and we're going to get you underwritten before we ever put an offer on a house.
Right.
And then it does 2 things. It strengthens your offer. When there's 10 offers out there and yours is already underwritten, oh baby, that makes a difference.
It's a huge, huge deal. Yeah, and especially if it's someone local in town saying this offer is already fully underwritten. Someone like Cynthia, who's gonna, make sure she calls any of the agents involved to let them know how qualified the buyer is.
Absolutely.
That's gonna go a long way, because there are a lot of online banks and some local ones that just don't have great reputation information. So when you submit an offer with them, you know, on the front of your offer is handling your financing, the most important part of the purchase, and an agent sees someone who's let them down before, or let their buyers down before.
That's not the offer they're going to tell their clients to take.
Yeah, and you may not get another chance for them to say, hey, will you work with XYZ lender? Your offer won't be selected, and someone else's will. Okay. Cynthia, you do a lot with the VA, and you have a lot of good options for them. Tell me more about that.
I do. I'm very fortunate. I am a nationally certified VA lender. I am actually one of the first 200 people in America to carry the National Association of Mortgage Brokers national certification for military lending.
Okay.
And I love that we have such a huge military and VA community in Carrollton. One of the first things I learned about Carrollton when I came here, our very first event that we did, I found out that Carrollton has more Purple Hearts per capita than any other town in the state of Georgia.
Oh, really?
And that's just amazing.
That's
that is
huge.
So special. And to serve them, you know, so many of our military, both active and our retired vets, our vets that are out, and even more importantly, our disabled vets, do not fully know how amazing their benefits are. Not to mention that a lot of lenders don't like working with the VA because the VA protects, and that's one thing I gotta say, the VA protects their veterans when it comes to home buying. Is it more difficult? Sometimes, but the reality is the benefit for the veteran is huge. 100% financing with no PMI. Every veteran should be able to own a home. A disabled veteran who has more than a 10% disability not only doesn't have PMI, but doesn't pay a VA funding fee. And something a lot of people don't know is the veteran with 100% disability not only doesn't pay any of those fees, but they don't have to pay property tax.
Oh, yeah.
That's huge.
And the fee she's talking about too, like the funding fee. What's an example? What
Well,
percentage
the
might that
VA
be?
typically charges anywhere from a 2 to a 3.1% funding fee because they do 100% financing and they don't charge any PMI. To put that in comparison to an FHA, FHA charges 1.75 up front, plus they charge a monthly PMI on a 30-year as long as you have a loan.
Right.
So for a veteran should never be put into an FHA loan when they can do no money down, no PMI, no funding fee if they have got the disability, and have every bit of good of a rate, if not better. So a lot of benefits, and now there's also a VA renovation loan out, which, guys, this is amazing. A veteran can buy a home that needs some work. We can put $25,000 over and above the purchase price, still 100% funding.
Great.
And the appraised value is going to be based upon the house with the renovations instead of the before renovation value.
Awesome.
So that opens up a veteran to be able to buy a fixer-upper, and a lot of our vets want to do that.
Right.
They want to buy something that needs a little work, but that has that beautiful old established yard, or that has the qualities they were looking forward for, or they may need to put in, if they're a disabled veteran, they may need to put in a ramp. They need to maybe widen some doorways. This gives us the ability, without putting any more burden on our veteran, to fund that loan for them in a way that is beneficial.
Yeah, that's awesome. And some of you will know this if you've home shopped or bought a home before, but with VA loans, traditionally, there just really can't be many or any repairs needed on the home. The appraiser is going to come out and he's going to say you have to fix X, Y, and Z, and if the seller's not able to fix it for the buyer, then you just usually can't close on the loan.
Then you lose the home.
Yeah, you lose the home. And so that kind of limits anyone shopping with a VA loan to a home that's just in perfect condition.
Now we're taking those limits away.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then you have a great renovation loan just for
we do.
Other buyers
yeah,
too.
For anybody who has watched HGTV and you're like, ooh, I want to do it that way, well, we can.
Yeah.
Not only the 203K, I know everyone's heard of the 203K FHA loan.
Right.
No, guys, you don't have to do an FHA renovation loan. There is a conventional renovation loan out there. It is amazing. We can do up to, I think, $120,000 or $150,000 in purchase renovations.
Wow.
The money is put into escrow. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, we do vet your construction crew.
Okay.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
not going to bring in a contractor that's not licensed.
Okay.
Because we're going to check and make sure they have a license.
Okay.
We're going to do two things. You don't have to have 27 quotes and all the things people hear of as nightmares.
Right.
You can use any contractor they want.
Okay.
But we have to have them licensed.
Okay.
And number two, we're going to do a background check on them because we're going to make sure that we don't hand your money to that contractor to go buy supplies.
Right.
And he gets $25,000 and then walks off and you're paying that debt.
Disappears. Yeah.
So we're going to vet the contractor, but again, you can choose anyone you want.
That's
and
great.
the cool thing about these loans is they're also done post renovation value. So we're going to take those plans, the appraiser's going to look at those plans, and they're going to see what your home is going to be worth.
Right.
And we can do that on a purchase,
Yeah.
or we can do it on a remodel.
Okay.
And something a lot of people don't think about, new construction. People are like, well, why would I need a renovation loan for new construction?
Yeah.
How many people do you know go look at a new construction and go, God, that house would be perfect if I could just add the pool?
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
You can.
Interesting.
As long as the house is 90% finished,
Huh. Okay.
we can do that renovation loan on it.
Okay.
And you can go into your beautifully brand new home and have your money escrowed for your pool to have it be part of your house payment.
Yeah, that's
So it's really
that's
a cool
awesome.
deal.
It's a big deal. And with the 203K loans, the FHA,
That's the FHA.
generally they have a list of contractors you have
Yes.
to select from. You can't
And
use
you have to get
yours,
3
right?
quotes typically.
It's a lot.
It's a
Anytime I've
process.
mentioned it to someone and they look into it, they never end up getting that kind of
It's a
loan.
process.
Yeah. So I've never even actually closed one of those because no one wants to do all of it once they see the requirements.
During the market crash, I think they were used a little more because so many people were trying to buy HUD homes.
Yeah,
And the
rehab.
only way you could even get a loan on a beat up, destroyed HUD home, you know, it might be in a great neighborhood and you know
Right.
it had potential, but it had
Right.
vandalism because of the foreclosures and things
Right.
like that. So the 203K really did have a great place, and it still does for someone who might not qualify for the
Right.
conventional product. But if you qualify for the conventional, man, it opens doors.
That's awesome. Yeah, I will definitely be telling a lot of people
Well,
about that
you know,
because it
it's-
comes up a lot.
And especially here in Carrollton, because we have this beautiful historic square.
Yeah.
And we have all these gorgeous old homes. And a lot of them, people would love to come in. They see the beauty of these old historic homes. But let's face it, they're not cheap to renovate.
Right.
So if someone can come in and basically be their own Chip and Joanna, get a good design to an old home and renovate it and make it a beautiful part of our downtown.
Yeah, that's awesome. Or do you have anything you want to add home loan wise? I mean, I'm sure you have a million things you could add, but
Don't think that you can't own a home just because life has happened. Everybody makes mistakes. All of us went through college or that phase in our lives when we were younger, and you know, we don't always get educated on exactly how to take care of everything. We get 4 years of history and no years of financial whatever you want to
Advice.
acuity when we're in high school. And so if you don't know, this is a safe place to ask.
yeah.
Nobody here is going to judge you. What we're going to do is help you get on the right path.
Yeah,
That's
that's
important.
wonderful. That's super important for people to know. There's a lot of shame that people associate with just finances and not understanding.
And there are products out there to help people. You know, people go through divorces, people go through deaths in the family, people have things happen.
Right,
And there are products out there to help with that.
right,
So talk to us and let us see what we can do. And even if you're not there yet,
right.
we're going to hold your hand till we get you there.
Well, Cynthia, thank you so much for
Thank
your
you
time
so much for
today.
having us. And
Yes, it was a
welcome
pleasure.
to Carrollton, guys. It's an amazing
Yes.
place to be.
Yes, call this lady. Thanks, guys.